Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your geographical location. It's me again, electricity, uh, coming to you this very hour, the first broadcast of the day, and we'll be having another broadcast in the next few hours. As you can see, the topic is action and inaction, and it is for you and I to prove what? To prove each other wrong. Following yesterday's broadcast, I went through the comments again, and where some of the comments are put there, some of them were arguing, why am I focusing on on Tinubu and not focus on the present government in respect to holding each other or the government accountable. Fair enough. But holding each other accountable has nothing to do with past, present, or future. It's a normal, standard thing to hold each other accountable. And I said, okay, fair enough. I'm going to come this morning. Then we're going to ask ourselves, particularly you prove me wrong, on how we are to hold the government accountable in this regard, the current government. But we must have at the back of our mind that we have uh, legislators, the Labour Party, I beg your pardon, and the Obedient Party, who are what? Who have declared themselves as what? As the opposition party. But we need to ask a question. When opposition party in what sense? From outside or from inside? Okay, if it's from outside, it's very hard to argue that they are opposition party. It's from inside, the question is, are they really opposing the government, or what are they really doing? So the first thing I am going to highlight here is what is it comes with what with a question in terms of the government, of how we can here. It is the right of citizens to question every action and inaction of the government. This is a summary of Section 14, subsection 1, 2, A, B, and C, and 3 and 4. I repeat again, I read out again. It is the right of citizens to question every action and inaction of the government. This begs the question as to how how can, what form, medium, channel the citizen have or should use to question the current government beside, so I need you to prove me wrong, beside or through their legislators? Is it social media? We sit down here almost on a daily basis on social media, talking and challenging and putting messages out there. So to achieve a good government and a people that we can hold accountable, how do we proceed? Through which media do we raise our concerns, our questions to? If you go to section 14 of the Constitution, it tells you where we stand as citizens of the country, which is, in summary, we have the right to question every action and inaction of the government. So, if you want to prove me wrong that there is another means, another channel, another medium beside our legislators that we can use, raise our question and consigns our grievances to, then I need you to prove me wrong. That is the purpose of what? Of this message, of this broadcast. Because if there is none, then we are backing at the wrong tree. And the right tree is our legislator. So, and how do we go about it? You know my story, you know my song, my national anthem, my own personal national anthem, which is section 68 and section 110 of the Constitution. Now, here is the case here. Like I said, I'm here to be proven wrong. The recent budget, this is how I know, I stand to be corrected, how it worked. The executive will send it to what? To the chambers, the legislators. And they're meant to what? To go through it. Read it through and through and ask questions before it is what? It is passed out. Or they send it back for it to be amended or corrected, or to ask for an explanation as to why is this, what is this money meant for? And we saw the recent 2024 budget that was what? Passed straight away. Let's ask this question, particularly to those who claim to be what? The opposition party. Did any of their senators raise an objection? I stand to be proven wrong. Did any citizens raise concerns through the senators, or the obedience movement raise concerns through the senators and say this money is outrageous? I stand to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong if I am wrong. So, seeing that the citizens' rights have the right to question every action and inaction of the government. Yesterday, the righteous man defended Peter Obi. I did a little bit of digging, small investigation, and I hope I will have the opportunity to ask him further questions in respect to his defense of what? Of the former Labour presidential candidate. As to if he indeed the leader, the Messiah that the people are looking for. And they have seen. If the Messiah cannot hold anyone accountable, or because when you look at in my view in respect to the claim or the claim of an opposition party, you can't be opposition party from outside. You must be either you're an activist, you have to be inside, and those that are inside actually are not doing anything. So how do we define an opposition party? How do I oppose you? Yes, they are minority in the house there. Is their voice heard? Do they oppose anything? Have they raised any concerns? I stand to be proven wrong. So how do we achieve this change that we so much desire when you and I don't even know our legislators from our constituency? They don't even have an office in their constituency. You don't even have an email address for them. You don't have their telephone number. They don't even have secretary. They converse in one place that you and I cannot reach. So, how do we go about to change this issue? Prove me wrong. If there is any other means by which we can raise our concerns, our grievances, ask questions beside or through our legislators, if there is any. I want to be proven wrong. So prove me wrong. Good evening, Oriyomi Abdul. You're welcome. Swat D, uh, you're welcome as well too. So the segment we will be running, or I will be running henceforth, will be prove me wrong. It's not necessarily me per se. It could be you. It could be anybody. It's what to prove me wrong. Open and quote close. Any message put forth in respect to the Labour Party presidential candidate is to what? Is to stir him up. To understand that leadership, X accountability is not possible. Holding people accountable is not possible. Can never be achieved. Can never, ever be achieved. Good afternoon, Fad. Thanks for joining. The question here is, which I highlighted earlier because we don't have much time today, is this. Based on section 14, subsection 1, 2, A, B, C, 3, and 4 of the Constitution. This is a summary. It is the right of the citizens to question every action and inaction of the government. This begs the question as to how. For example, we are here on the stage now. You need to ask me a question, you type and you ask me a question. If I need to ask you a question, I ask you a question. So, which medium do the citizens have beside what I highlighted? The legislators, section 68 and section 110 of this constitution, that we can raise our concerns before we can get things right. And I say it again for the record. The greatest threat to Nigeria's democracy, the greatest threat to Nigerian democracy are what? Are the legislators. I've said it again, you take it to the market, they'll tell you that is the same thing. Again, good afternoon to you, Fad Adewumi, Adeguani. All citizens have become keypad warriors, just like myself. We feel fighting for a good governor ends online instead of taking to the NAS block at Abuja. Well, Adeguani, thank you. But that is a fact you just highlighted, and which one I've been preaching all along. So that's why going forward, the segment we will be running, you and I and those my brothers and sisters from another mother in the comment section will be prove me wrong. We don't even know them. But if we can start from section 68 and 110 of the Constitution, it's not like you rightly put it, all citizens become keypad warriors. We feel fighting for a good governance ends online instead of taking to the NAS block at Abuja. And that is what I said, and I repeat for the record, the presumed leader of the people, Peter Gregory Obi, message should be. You can't be opposition party from outside. It's impossible. That's an activist. That's the work of what's his name? Dele Farotimi, what's this other guy's name? Kenneth Okonkwo. And those are their jobs. They're activists. So if you want to be an activist, say you're an activist. But if you want to be an opposition party, or say your opposition, then you have to start to deal with your members in the house. Let them voice this concern and let them bring the message to the people that listen. Even though we know the country has been run aground, they need to show that they are different. The Labour and the Democrats. I mean the Democrats and the whatever they are in the US. you see how they oppose each other. But at the end of the day, it's for the good. The good of the people is always protected, despite their differences. Prove me wrong. How the budget was signed off. Did Ireti Kingigbe oppose it? Did any Labour Party senator oppose it? Or is it the case, if you cannot beat them, join them? What a lovely opposition party we have. Sometimes in life, if it means standing alone, then you have to stand alone. The presumed leader for the people should be what? Should be steering the minds of the people towards their legislators. Calling out Bola Ahmed Tinubu, many Nigerians have called him out. It's neither here or there. It makes no difference. It will not change anything. But when you push or galvanize the citizens to start to defend the core value of the Constitution, then you are putting yourself in the position of what? Of a leader. Beside that, it's neither here or there. They have offices, chief of staff, secretaries, and other staff. That is not the problem. Then what is the problem? They have offices, chief of staff, secretaries, Dr. Damages. So what is the problem? Whoever is writing this, tell us what is the problem then? That is not the problem. Then what is the problem? Because we are here to prove each other wrong. Prove me wrong. What is the problem? The citizens not reaching out? Or their chief of staffs, their secretaries, and other staffers don't have means that we can reach them or communicate to them? Please, whoever writes this is a public forum. You need to provide clarification or provide an answer going by the topic, action, and inaction, and the thumbnail. Prove me wrong. We don't leave things hanging, and we can never leave things hanging. That is not the problem. Then what is the problem? Could you please highlight that? Whoever is writing that on the platform. Ronaldo, nothing to prove to you. Go and confront him for the hijacked Nigerian, and he must now fix Nigeria. Obi got nothing to do with the backwardness of Tinubu. This is the issue. This is not just about Peter Obi. This is where we often get it wrong. If it is about Peter Obi, I think the man will be sleeping in his house. This is about you and I. If it's about Peter Obi, then why do we bother ourselves coming here, sitting down every day talking? This is about confronting Tinubu, and there's the people that can do that is the citizens through their legislators. Prove me wrong. God's own. Good morning to you too. Chigozie, why does Obi happen to be only one talking about? Why does Obi? I'm talking about cancer. You and I have the right to call them out. It must not be Obi. Agreed. And that is what we're doing. It must not be him. Because Nigeria has been existing before him. But what we're saying is the people need a leader as well. The people credit must be given to him that his emergence kind of create this hunger, this awareness for change. We have to give him that credit. Credit to whom credit is due. But is he tapping into it rightly or dancing to the gallery? Is he tapping into it rightly or dancing to the gallery? Or as people say, he is part of them. He is one of them. He is a politician. It belongs to them. They own him somehow. The link is there. If you want to come on board, you're welcome to come on board. But like I said, those in the comment sections take priority. I will always highlight them because they are my brothers and sisters from another mother. So it is the citizens' responsibility. I've often said it. If you listen to me, the citizens take highest responsibility because we produce these monsters. And because we produce them, we also have the power to tame them. We produce them, we have the power to tame them. But how, if not through our legislators? Even those seeking for, those agitating for secession, how? It is also true. To achieve anything, you will have to go through those lawmakers. Either state level, federal level, local government level, wherever they are. Until when we start to go after them and do the right thing, the duties and responsibilities of citizens. They all have a right, every right to question the action and inaction of what? Of the government, based on section 14, subsection 1, 2, A, B, and C, 3, and 4 of the Nigerian Constitution. And if those who say the Constitution is wrong and they are going to write their own Constitution, trust me on it, they are going to insert that section into their Constitution as well too. It is saddening that other democracy people become less interested than the military regime, where we witness more of civic protests against the government. That is the reality we are seeing. Very unfortunate and very saddening. Thank you for that, Adewale. Chigozie Mike, everyone is afraid. And I want better country, but afraid to speak up. You see, I love you people there in the comment section because you tell the truth. And I appreciate that. But that is not possible in Nigeria. We have numerous cases to prove it. What is not possible? Fad, could you shed some light? If I go back to your earlier message, what exactly is not possible? Let me see your message. I know you posted earlier. No, you always say good afternoon. What is not possible, Fad? If you can just tell me what is not possible. Roland G, nothing comes from nothing. Finish. Tinubu got nothing to offer Nigeria. Prove this wrong, Mr. Electricity. I don't need to prove such things wrong. We all know that. I don't need to prove anything. You and I know that. And we've said it over time. I mean, with due respect to him as the president, it's been said over time. But like what the Christians will say, we'll get back to that place. They often go with this ideology, what God cannot do does not exist, expecting a miracle from somewhere. I don't need to prove that. Evidence shows that it clearly cannot. If the wife swore on the altar of God, desecrating the altar of God to do right by the people, yet they are allocating billions of naira to our office, and whereby the ordinary Nigerians are suffering. It's pointless for me to prove. To be a waste of my time. And that is why I don't wait too much on it. I focus on the presumed leader of because the fact remains that people are looking for leader. And I stated earlier, credit must be given to him. He's been able to galvanize the people, stir the people's mind. I saw it. I was there. And I saw the hunger in the people. But to achieve this, you don't dance to the gallery. To be an opposition leader is not from outside. Talk all you want to talk. Deal with your senators in there. Because if I quote and unquote, going forward, the Labour Party and the Obedient Movement are now opposition. How? The Obedient Movement It's the legislators, through the legislators. Section 60110, recalling officers. Whether you vote for them or not is neither here or there. And you don't have to wait to 2027 before you start to do that. We have to start somewhere. Prove me wrong if there is any other means. That is the purpose of this show. We won't be long here. Liberty, it is the government, legislature, judiciary, not just the legislature that is a threat to the so-called democracy. Listen, brother, let's educate ourselves here. The executive is out of reach between you and I. The judiciary also are equally out of reach. But when we get the legislator rights or legislative harm right, this transcends, it sprinkled down to what? To the executive, to the judiciary. Accountability comes into play. They are the lawmakers. The judiciary, what do? They interpret it. They are the lawmakers. And that is why you see it everywhere in the world that they are progressing. They hold the lawmakers accountable, checks and balance the citizen. Madam Nelly, I lost you again there. Thanks for wanting to join. It's been ages. I hope you'll come back again. So, Chigozie Michael, in Nigeria, some won't speak because Emilokon, others won't speak because of their own agenda. So, are you a country? No common interest. This is an important thing. Chigozie, we have a common interest. I've said this over time. It's just that we choose to be blinded to it. But as you rightly highlighted, we allow Emilokon and different agenda to blind our eyes to our common interest, which is the good of everyone. What is our common interest? Good governance, good government. It is a common interest. Good health care. It is a common interest. Jobs. It is a common interest. Good infrastructure. It is a common interest. Good health care. It is a common. Good education. It is a common interest. So these are our common interests. But until such time that we allow that scale, we remove that scale from our eyes. It's there. We know it's there. We can remove it, but we choose not to remove it. Thinking that there is a savior somewhere that will come. Chigozie Michael, I find another topic, leave Nigeria. What topic? Come with a suggestion, please. Why should I leave Nigeria? I don't understand. Give me a topic. If you what do you want us to talk about? Sex in the City? Or what? Friends? Or what? So I mean, respectfully, Chigozie, can you suggest a topic so that we talk about it? It's an open platform. We can never forget and leave Nigeria, whether you like it or not. Most of us do not believe we'll sit down talking about Nigeria today. So, Godson, the citizens have been intimidated to the point of fighting each other. That's also a point. But you see, when we are to this point, we are seeing it. And those of us who participate in this program, in our own little corner, we take this message to them. We discuss this message in your own little way. Maybe where you went to play football on Sundays, those days that we go play football on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays on the street, or where you are arguing or discussing or eating or whatever it is. This is a way to pass the message across. That fighting each other has not gotten us anywhere because we both have common interests. You and I need constant electricity. That's a common interest. Thank you, Gosso. No worry, they're no go enter again. Okay, let's keep our let's keep our hopes on that. Chigozie Michael, when Obi was standing alone, una wan kill am with tribalism. Abeg, make una no kill the man. He has tried. We are over 200 million. No, he has not tried. If you ask me that, I will tell you that he has not tried. If you say the man has tried, give me statistics to say he has tried. Give me statistics, Chigozie. And when you say he has tried, in what sense? Based on what? Compared to who? Compared to who? Based on what? Give me statistics. Let's talk about statistics. Show me the statistics. Has the Constitution any core value? Of course, the Constitution has a lot of core values. Do you and I respect or defend those core values? The answer is no. Write a new constitution imported from heaven. If you and I don't defend the core constitution of that, I mean the core value of that constitution, it's useless. Not that the constitution is useless. We'll be saying the same story. Bring a new constitution from heaven. Madam Nelly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Your camera is not on, please. Can you please have your camera on in respect to the policy of the platform? Thank you. Long time and compliment of the season.
I don't celebrate Christmas.
It's been ages. Thanks for joining.
Well, you refused to reach out. I sent you my email.
No, Madam Nelly. It was a good
No,
thing
no, no,
you
no,
came.
no, no. There's
I
so
tried
many things I want.
several times.
No, no, there's so many things I don't want to talk on the air that I wanted
okay.
you
All
first.
right.
But you
I will give you my email address in the private chat.
No, I'm not giving it. You don't give me. I'll give you mine, and you then send me email, and I will.
Okay, give me yours.
I don't know the country you're in. That the number couldn't go through.
Okay, give me your email address, and I am going to email you.
Saudi Arabia.
Okay. The floor is yours, Madam Nelly. Please, I believe you've been following in the background.
You said that Obi didn't try. Why?
No, somebody. Yeah, someone said Obi. Where is it again? Someone said when Obi was standing alone, I won't kill him with tribalism. I bet make una no kill the man. He has tried. And I said no, he has not, because you have to give me statistic as to what he meant by he has tried. Tried in what sense?
Okay, my question.
He is the presumed leader of the people.
So my question then, for whoever wants to say that Obi did not try or that Obi tried, is Obi the only human being in Nigeria?
No, it's not.
Okay,
it's
then
not.
what I'm saying in totality is that all of us are behind what is happening in Nigeria. I don't want to single out one person. All of us, and I keep saying it every time. I don't really like to come on these shows because all we are doing is keep talking and going round the circle. With nobody wants to really face the reality. I've said it so many times. I'm not interested in coming here to present myself to the YouTube. That's not my interest. We are all a culprit of what is happening in Nigeria because none of us is sincere. None of us. I mean, we cannot face people in the face and tell them what you're doing is wrong. Whether that person is your brother, your sister, your child, your best friend, until we learn to tell the truth. Because if you know that somebody is doing something wrong, stand up and tell that individual what you're doing is wrong. You can say because you're hungry, somebody will pay you off to do the wrong thing. And then you do it because you're hungry. Somebody will bribe you. And then you will take it. Even with the people in Nigeria and we in diaspora, we are all involved in this.
Correct. You're 100%.
Nobody wants to see that. We are all involved in it. No matter how little we are committing this crime, We are all involved in it. And until we all stop and look ourselves in the face and admit the truth, people should stop pointing at Obi, because Obi is not the one. And some of the people that comes on this media many times, oh, Obi did it. Last time somebody was saying, oh, Obi didn't say let's riot. Obi didn't say, what the heck are you doing in Houston or Texas where you are? Why don't you tell people to riot? Why are you putting it on Obi is my question. Obi's mother delivered Obi, like each and every one of us that comes here to blame Obi. We were all delivered that way. Obi is not singled out to be the one to fix Nigeria. So before we start criticizing Obi, let's ask ourselves, what are we contributing to what is going on? Because I've said this so many times in this your show. There is nothing Tinubu and his cabinet will pay me to make me work with him. I will not work with him because I know he's not honest. He's not honest. And anybody he tries to put in that cabinet, even if that person is genuine, what Tinubu will do is to kind of try to corrupt that person by setting that person up with something, and then he will have something against that person. So the person will not be able to talk.
Okay.
There's an adage in Nigeria that said, if you want to eat with a devil, you're going to eat with a very long spoon.
To which I disagree, that it is better not to eat with the devil.
Yes,
rather than to eat with it.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah,
if you look into everybody that he is electing, let's go into their profile. That person has committed one thing or the other that they are afraid if they say no to Tinubu, Tinubu will expose them.
Okay, Madam Nelly, the position I often stand is that the citizens, which is you and I, irrespective of where we are the one that can turn the country around. And
absolutely. You're saying
my argument have always been this, what I just highlighted on the screen, that it is the right of the citizens to question every action and inaction of the government. And follow on, the question was this basic question as to how, through whom, to whom, from which medium, I beg your pardon, do we use to question, to ask questions, to raise concerns, pass our concerns, grievances to?
I don't know how else to say it. We all no. We all need to begin to question ourselves, each and every one of us, and stop coming up with. Okay, let me give you one example. I'm sure that you heard about the boy that they killed in Lagos, Mohbad. Who is in the forefront of fighting for justice for Mohbad? Is a Nigerian, is an Igbo woman in UK. Ada Universe TV. She's the one fighting for, and everybody who killed that boy, all of them are Yorubas. Imagine an Oba going to sleep with this boy's wife and having a child. Again, we look at all these things. It all adds up. Nobody likes to tell the truth. Why will you tell me tomorrow you want me to come and bow for an idiot Oba that has been spilling people's blood because they have nobody to speak for them? We look at all these things, they're all tied together. Why we have somebody like Tinubu, and then you have all these police people, nobody wants to tell the truth because somebody from above will tell the police, don't do your work. And so a police officer is afraid not to lose their job. Well, if I'm afraid not to lose my job, I will continue to commit crime. I'll continue to do the wrong thing. And then Nigeria continues to sink. And we keep thinking that it's only the...
Okay, we agreed on one thing, Madam Nelly, that the citizens have... before I ask you my question, look at what is on the screen there. It's saying, to be fair to the legislators, they are the most interrupted of all the three arms of the government.
They're not.
Come again?
They're not.
I don't. I'm trying to clarify. I try to know who is writing this, because the person is writing from the channel platform. It would be nice if the person can, the moderator. I don't know if it's Rudolph that is writing this.
Again, it goes back to who did you put in that legislature? Who did you put there?
Exactly.
Is already, again, everything that all of you says, no matter how you curve this English, it brings it back to self-awakening. Self-awakening. I mean, if you say to yourself, no matter how much somebody gives you to bribe you to do the wrong thing, I will not take it. No matter how hungry that I am, for me to accept money to do the wrong thing, I will not. If we continue to do this to ourselves, we will then get people who are not corrupt. Whether you're a lawyer, attorney, legislature, or you're in the Senate. I mean, look at your president in the Senate. He's nothing but a criminal. So why are you expecting him to pass any good law for you? He's a criminal. And he cannot say no to anything that Tinubu tells him, because he himself, he has baggage. If he says no, Tinubu is going to expose him.
So we come down to the same question.
The same thing.
That we all, both of you and I, agree that the citizens are. Yes. So how do the citizens proceed now?
Again, let's all look into ourselves, do our human revolution. When I said for us to all do our human revolution, we need to look inward. When you're pushed in the corner, what are you going to do? I can't answer that question for you. Because I will answer for myself. Okay. If I'm pushed in the corner, what will I do? And I just told you, my answer is no.
Okay. Look at what is on the screen. There is the right of the citizens to question every action. I've highlighted this, and I keep saying, and I still stand on it. That is me summarizing section 14, 1 to 8.
And again, whoever that is writing this, I agree with you. But my question also to you is, what if they invite you in that government, whatever section you're talking about? You who is writing this, what will
this is me. That this is the Constitution. Not I wrote it, but this is the Constitution. A summary of the section of the Constitution. I just summarize it.
Before we start changing Constitution, we as human beings must be ready to tell ourselves the truth, and then write that Constitution to be the truth, and adhere to it. It doesn't matter what you write. If you yourself, you're not sincere, nothing happens. Nothing changes.
I don't know if this is you. Electricity, you refuse to face the truth.
It's me.
So, okay, tell me the truth. What is the truth?
The truth is that we must all, as human beings, do our human revolution. We can't keep spinning the wheel.
Okay, Madam Lely, let's say the human revolution, okay, which is to look into ourselves and be good citizens, okay. So let's argue, for the purpose of argument, that we've looked into ourselves, and we are now we're changed person now. We are changed person, okay. So
electricity, 1 minute. When you say you're a changed person, please give me an example.
Okay. I don't give bribe. I don't take bribe.
And under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances. I'm your sister.
Yeah.
Your blood sister.
Yeah.
I am next to you from your mom. Eh?
Okay.
And then you are a leader. And I come to you demanding for you to do the wrong thing. Please don't say this because we are here on this program. Eh? That's why I said, what will be really in your heart, because now you are at a tight corner. I'm your sister, or you are an uncle to one of my children. What will you do knowing that whatever I'm demanding from you is wrong?
Given to the fact that I am now a changed person, We're
Okay.
going by change person.
Yes.
Then I will politely, respectfully have to decline.
No. Let me participate in
Mr. Oti, can you please mute your microphone, please?
Okay. Okay. And then electricity, if you're telling me that, it's not just going to be me and you. I'm demanding this for all of us in Nigeria. Whether you're Hausa, whether you're Igbo, whether you're Yoruba, you are a human being first. And under no circumstances will I spill blood or disrespect you as a human being. And until we all get to that point, there's nowhere we're going.
And you think, and in your opinion, when do you think we will get to this point?
Well, you just told me we change. It won't be only electricity changing. It won't be only Nelly changing. We all have to. We, all of us.
So
because electricity, look at this. How long in Nigeria have we been praying with our block rosary, with our pastors, with everything? Today in Nigeria, somebody is a pastor. They will kill. They will cheat. They will spill blood. And we're pastors. And people wake up every morning and go to their church. Voila. Let's tell ourselves the truth. I will go to a pastor to pray for me. Why don't you pray for yourself? And going to a pastor to pray for me is like me asking my uncle, please, can you ask my father to give me money? God told you, I've made you in my own image. Go. So why don't we all start praying for ourselves? Because we don't want to look at the truth. The truth is very painful. All of us must do our human revolution. All of us. I don't care what anybody says. But
yeah, thank you for that, Madam.
I'm not here to come on these different platforms. Keep arguing and arguing and arguing. And there's no change.
We've stopped with
change.
Madam Nelly, we've stopped. Well, for me, when I run the broadcast, we don't argue.
No, when I say argue, I don't mean it in that degree. I mean, we keep repeating ourselves. We are highlighting all the problem in Nigeria, but what is the solution?
Well, Madam Nelly, repetition is part of life. Okay. In some issues, we have to repeat to pass. For example, you want me to change, and you have to. To come to a point, you have to repeat what you say several times. Then it's going to sink into me, okay. And then I will have to change. And for me, I keep repeating the same thing, which is we both agree that the problem is with the citizens. I welcome my Blackstone and Mr. Oti, I'll be with you soon. The problem is the citizens. And when we change, then we can now start to do right by each other and fix the country, because the country ain't going to fix itself. It's not going to fix itself. The citizens, I've said this before, that those of us in diaspora, we sit in a privileged position. And to see how we can help to bring about change in the country. Before Mr. Oti weigh in, whoever has been writing on Dr. Damages has clarified themselves, because I was going to take it up. The problem is with you all, Nigeria. Well, that's what we've been saying when you said it's not the legislature. We said that, okay, thanks for that clarity. And because I was about to take it up somehow. Mr. Oti, the floor is yours. Madam Nelly, I've sent you an email. Could you check if you get it? So that
all right.
Yeah. Mr. Oti, the floor is yours.
Hello, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I have to say that I appreciate what the lady. I don't know what's your name again. The name is it Nelly or something?
Madam Nelly.
Oh, right. I think she gets it. Okay. Electricity. You want somebody to prove you wrong. Well, it's not really my, proving you wrong, but at least kind of to answer some of the questions.
Mr. Oti, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That is the idea. It makes it more interesting.
See, because what? Okay, I'll do that. And again, what I said, that the lady gets it, in the sense that what we're discussing is difficult but equally simple. Okay, if we understand what the problem is, correct and diagnosis. Not because, first of all, what we're dealing with is collective action problem. Collective action problem. Okay. Now, somebody yesterday, because I was listening, somebody said something, made a reference to private universities. Okay, and he made that reference in the context of Nigerians not being demobilized, not able to organize. Okay, as citizens. Now, because, as I said, collective action problem. So, and the reference to students or to private universities. Now, because that block, that part of what you call civil society, have been kind of, if like, disempowered by disaggregation. We have private universities, so it's quite hard, difficult for a student body, which is, the youthful, energetic, vibrant, and visionary section of the country, citizenry, have been, if like, disorganized. They can't come together. They cannot mobilize themselves. And when you cannot have, that's, then you're dealing with this collective action problem. Okay, so who is gonna bear the cat? Who takes the lead? Now, so this comes to really maybe addressing the issue, proving you wrong. Now, because you talked about one man, Peter B, being a leader of the people. First of all, a presumed leader. I don't know. How do you is a presumption? How do you come about that? This guy came third. Okay. So election was held.
Mr. Oti, sorry. You said how did I come about?
So you're saying he's the leader. Who said he's the leader? Who said he's the leader? Now, we have a president, right? So, first of all, our primary responsibility as citizens is to hold this president to account. That is our first job, okay? And then, so you ask yourself, now, because this is facing reality, it's not theory. We have to be pragmatic. It's common sense, sensible. Now, we're looking at a system that is corrupt. Now, don't forget this. You keep on talking about the National Assembly. I agree. Is one route, is a possibility, but you shouldn't forget that this National Assembly is part of the political system that is corrupt, that's been hijacked. Okay, as well as the judiciary. Okay, so it's part of politics, and therefore, what I'm saying is this: we have to look beyond politics. Okay, and that is where the civil society comes in. Okay, but then civil society, now we are confronted with this collective action problem. So what do we do now? I made reference to the student union, private universities. Students can come together as a body. How about the labor unions? Okay, how about what is called civil society organizations that can be formed, at various levels? So I'll give you an example. Maybe maybe in Manchester, where I live, we have community associations. We can equally establish, because we live in the diaspora, I'm not talking about those in Nigeria, have this kind of civil society organizations, political action groups. So these are the things, that's the, direct action. We have been thinking about really being involved and responsible, and not having this, pleading alibi, looking up to someone else, shifting, that was absorbing ourselves from responsibility. It's not going to help. It's not going to work. So,
Mr. Oti, I don't think, if you follow very well, I don't think I or Madam Lely or anybody have absolved the citizens from responsibility.
No. See, you are doing that by saying, okay, this person, this is the leader of the people. Who is the leader of everybody? We have a role to play. Okay,
without a shadow of doubt. But do you agree that yes, we have a role to play, we still need to be led by? We agree that our first primary responsibility is to the government, regardless of whether we like it or not. We agree on that. But in the present government, now, in the present situation of the country, let's forget about the person that is there. It doesn't make any difference, because the previous ones and the present one are not different. So, but look at what is on the highlight there. Obi put himself out as a leader, so he has to lead. Okay, the people need a leader.
Sorry. Look, excuse me. He's a leader of a political party. He's not leading the country. Okay, we have to get that right.
Mr. Oti, you are mixing it up.
No. Hold on. Let me correct you.
Okay. Right.
A leader, but he's not leading the nation. He campaigned on a platform of a political party. That party didn't win. Okay, and
I agree.
Let me finish.
He's not leading the nation.
So why are you looking up to him to lead the nation? He's not. He wasn't. He didn't win the election. No. Excuse me. Look, we have to be consistent.
Mr. Oti, let me state to you.
Okay.
In his press conference, he said, going forward, the Labour Party and the Obi movement are the opposition party. So he's leading that opposition party. There is no time did anyone say he's the one leading the nation.
No, okay, sorry, excuse me. Look, this is the minor point. Look, but also we have another political party, okay, called the PDP, right? That came second. Is he not? So you ask yourself now, I mean, all this focus, it's got to do what it's got to do. He's leading a political party and a movement. All right. But we also have a political party called the PDP. What are they doing?
But they are not as pronounced.
No, excuse me. Look, this is a national project, is it not? A national salvation.
Yeah, it is a national project.
So then you don't have to discount anybody, any group of people. That's what I'm saying.
But there's nothing wrong in that regard. Mandela was also a person.
Look, I'm just telling you. Look, see, I'm just telling you that you're misdirected. By this kind of.
No, I am not misdirected. You are the one that you are trying to deflect on the issues.
No.
You are deflecting respectfully.
I'm not deflecting.
You are deflecting because Madam Nelly said, why are we looking? It's not just one person, it's everybody. At the end of the day, we agree on a certain thing. And I'm telling you how everybody gets involved. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody is involved in this. If you listen carefully, I have been saying that the citizens are the number one that is responsible. We created this monster and we have the power to tame this monster as well too. If you've been following the broadcast,
actually, you are listening to you.
It is not a case that one is singling somebody out, but in the context of the 2023 election, Peter Obi brought a different dynamic to that election. Do you agree with that?
I do. But you see, look.
So when you now reference PDP and all those things, I stand in a position to tell you that you want to also deflect from the that is happening.
Look, it's not deflecting. I'm just telling you that. You see,
I'll come back to you, Mr. Blackstone. Hold on, Mr.
Blackstone. The point I'm making?
I'll come back to you.
Me, it's not really okay. You've stated your case, and I'm trying to give a kind of a counter view, and then you're arguing with me at the same time. So
all right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
So what I'm saying, see what I'm saying is this. Okay, look, we have is a national cause, a national redemption, and everybody has to be involved. Okay, and the question is, how do we get everybody involved? And of course, I've pointed out a few things. If you I'm talking about civil society organizations. That is a sine qua non. There's no other way. You can't do it otherwise. I mean, how do you get people on the street if we need direct action? And I can tell you, from my point of view, that's what we need. Remember, I will make reference to the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party. You know what he said? You see, the last hope of the common man is the common man. And what does that mean? How do you understand that? In other words, it's direct action. The citizens. So how do you mobilize them? The citizens can mobilize themselves at various levels. That's what I'm saying. And finally, you talked about accountability, right? There's something you said about accountability. Now the question is not as simple as you try to make it. Okay. Now, for example, you're asking this question: if somebody is he gonna hold the last government accountable? Now the question, okay, you ask yourself, where do you stop holding people accountable? Now, for example, I'll tell you.
You asked me a question. When do we stop holding people accountable?
No, I'm trying to analyze. I tell you the difficulty with that. No, because I understand your position.
You have 1 minute.
No, you ask the question. For example, you ask the question. You pose the question: if Peter Obi becomes president in 2027, is he going to hold Tinubu accountable? Now, so the way I'm looking at that question is this. So, in other words, the question you have to ask is this: where do you start? I mean, how far is he going to go to backwards? Are you gonna hold
as far as possible? Okay. As far as possible.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so what if you have thought that through? Okay, so you're gonna hold. I agree. I agree. But again, as a matter of if like tactics or strategy, you wouldn't, if you have got the power, you'll be foolish. Anybody will be foolish to come out and then say, I'm gonna do this, hold this person accountable. You get my point? So until you get that power, I mean, there are certain things you cannot come out in the open and say when you're not in the, you get my point. So it gotta be, look, this is politics, Realpolitik. It's not theory, it's not ideology. In politics is the art of the possible. There are things. So yes, I would say now, for example, what Buhari, this guy broke international law, right? Has he been held accountable? It's up to Nigerians. It's Nigerians' constitution, the Nigerian judiciary to hold him to account. Giving one instance of breaking international law, domestic and international law. They went and do what's called extraordinary rendition. That's a crime. Are you with me? So who's going to hold him accountable? So, so that's the thing. So it's not as easy as that. For somebody to come out, somebody running for presidency, come out and say, I'm going to hold somebody and make such a statement, it will be very imprudent, very unwise, and very silly. Okay? Until you get the power and then you see what you can do with it. I rest my case.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Mr. Oti, because there are two things you need to clarify further. Mr. Blackstone, thank you, Mr. Ola. You are joining from Nigeria. I acknowledge that. That is why your camera is not on. Mr. Blackstone, Madam Lely, I'll come to you. Mr. Blackstone, the floor is yours.
Hello, Mr. Electricity, and good day to everybody in the panel and everybody on the chat. Anyway, for me, one of the most important things, I will concur with Madam Lely, because before anything can be changed in a country, the citizens have to change their mindset. So the bottom line of bringing change to Nigeria is the citizen. And if the citizens cannot change the way they reason, the way they do things, the way they behave, there cannot be a meaningful change in that country. All that we are saying, the government. The people in the government, they came out among the citizens. So you cannot say a person that was a criminal before and now coming to the government, then repent as not a criminal. It will be worse when it comes to criminality, when it comes to corruption. So what I'm trying to say is that, like yesterday, I asked a question. I said, why do Nigeria, once they leave Nigeria, go into the new country, automatically they change? Nobody forced them to change. So what is that? What brings them to change their mindset and to fall to fall in line with the principles, with the laws of the country in which they are migrated to? So we have to understand that no change can take place if we do not change ourselves, if we do not change the way we reason, if we do not change our own mindset. There's no meaningful change that will take place, no matter how much we talk about it. Let's first of all examine ourselves. Let's examine ourselves. Let's examine what makes us do what we do. Why do we not respect the law? Why can't we respect the simple laws that are in place? So if we cannot respect the simple laws that are in place, so how can we bring change to other people or to the country? So let us concentrate on ourselves first of all. Sometimes we have to query ourselves. We have to query our mind. We have to, before we start blaming people in government. What about us? What are we doing? Because before anybody was voted there or was appointed, they know who they are. We know who they are. You can see somebody who could not afford 3 square meters yesterday, and tomorrow is coming home with the SUV. Everybody be shouting, chairman, you don't arrive. Nobody questions how it came about, the sudden wealth. So how are we going to change those things? We know in Western countries, if you are getting your wealth and you have those source of where you are getting riches, or where you are getting your money from, the police will be after you. They will be monitoring you. They will be investigating you because they want to know the source.
Blackstone, I don't mean to interrupt you, sweetheart. I just want to add something before I forget.
Right.
Everything you're saying, is correct, but can you please tweak when you said that whenever we come here we change? Blackstone, sweetheart, we do not change. Let me tell you, the only thing we do is because we know that if we run the red light, we're going to get a ticket and they will hit our pocket. And we know that if you and I fight, physically fight, both of us will be arrested. But to real change as a human being, do our human revolution, sweetheart, whether we are in diaspora or we are not in diaspora, is not true. Can I tell you why I'm saying this? Please, respectfully, I don't want you to think I'm rude. I'm taking your position. I'm not.
No, man.
Let me give you just a few examples. Okay, sometimes we start our business here, and probably I'm selling a egusi, and the egusi comes all the way from Nigeria. Am I right? And probably stays a long time in the ship before it gets to me. And then when the egusi arrives, probably I'm selling it and I'm not selling all of it. And maybe I'm just using egusi as an example. And maybe the egusi spoils. Let me tell you, as a human being, yes, I'm going to lose money, but I will not sell that egusi to you because I know that egusi is not good anymore. I will not.
Yeah.
I will not. I know I'm going to lose money. But to be honest with you, that's the kind of sincerity that I want us, all of us, to start questioning ourselves. I will not sell. That's one example. Another example I want to also share with you is that I will not deliberately go to Nigeria and I want to marry somebody who is a doctor. What is my real intention? Why I want to bring that doctor over here? To help me make money, so that I will go to Chapakwa and buy a house and then show Blackstone. You know, when I come to a party, I will show you, me and my husband, we are living in Chapakwa. When I know fully well that I'm asking you to marry me because I know you will be a little bit of money-making machine for me. What is my real intention? And that is one of the things we all go through here. I will come under a false pretense. I love you, babe. I love you, babe. Do you really love babe? All these things is that comes under this human revolution. That's why I said to electricity before, if for any reason you have the opportunity to be in the Senate, and I'm your daughter, I'm your sister, and I do something, will you look me square in the face and give me the punishment that I deserve? Or will you cover it up?
Thank you.
Okay.
I think that's just a buttress.
Please continue. I just wanted to bring that.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Blackstone will continue.
Don't get fooled that as soon as we come to abroad, we change. No. It's not true. We are only changing for the law because we know what.
I answered that question yesterday.
Yes,
I did say, Blackstone, I'm coming. I did say, Mr. Blackstone, the reason is that we are afraid of consequences because there are consequences to our actions, and that is the reason why. Not that, and it helped us to change. Some of us to change that. Even when we go back home, it is still there. Mr. Blackstone, you will continue. But you will continue.
No, just on the line because so I was referring to not changing. We now begin to obey the laws. I mean by obeying the law. When you come, we begin to obey the law because the system has placed things in the system have made us to obey the law, to fall in line with the law. Not that we have changed, or most of us have changed from inside of us. Right, but we have be able. Then we begin to obey the law of the land. So that's why I said that they have put institutions in place that checkmate everyone here. And such institutions are not available, are not in Nigeria, or are not working very well in Nigeria. That is why we still have that issue of people always breaking the law and going scot-free without being punished.
We should also changing morally, because if we don't change morally, even with the law, we're still going to break it.
Let's go by the presumption that we have changed. Okay, I'm going to highlight two comments. We'll go with Mr. Ola because he's there, joining us from Nigeria, so I'll give him. I will highlight two comments. We are going with that presumption that we have changed. And those that are leading us, I mean, at current moment, at this present moment, the citizens have changed. So the first I highlight here is we have changed. Nigerians, where is the way forward? Should we start following them, with the leaders, house to house? This is from Comfort Babel, house to house or office to office. And this second comment, nothing will change unless we, the people, hit the street, no matter the threat. Until we are ready to face any consequences on, I don't know what present street, Nigeria won't change. So, presume we've changed. So, is the answer these two that I just highlighted? And what is the answer? Mr. Ola, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. You see,
sorry, can we see the guy that's talking, if possible?
Sorry,
he's joining us from Nigeria.
My network will just.
We give exemption to those who are joining from Nigeria.
Don't worry, I'm an old school man. I'm not I'm one of these young this thing. Let's just go down this road. You see, before Nigeria turned to be like this, it started somewhere. Most of these leaders, we call leaders that are failing us. These are leaders, some of them enjoy good education, free education, whereby every school holiday, they will kill cow. Then they will come with plate to that school and get a free rice and everything. You see, the thing started changing slowly, systematically, slowly to what we are now at today. Nigeria to change. Our mindset have to change. The corruption is so deep that even somebody will buy something for 10 naira, I will say I bought it for 1 million naira. You see, the thing that is that getting in now into the budget they are not giving 10 billion to renovate an office. How much to build a bungalow? Is that office bigger than a bungalow? How much to build a 4-bedroom bungalow in Nigeria if you want to go and build it yourself? That's how deep this corruption is now in Nigeria. To renovate a particular office, a residence, a builder is already standing. You budgeting 5 billion, 15 billion. What kind of war? It's not bricks as cement and sand. So all these politicians you see, none of them will change. Even the Labour Party member that even said that they're all corrupt.
Okay, Mr. Ola, the question is this. The question is, the issue is, they highlighted two lists in there. We are going by the presumption or assumption, whichever one, that we, the citizens, have changed. So how do we change the leadership? We, the citizens, we've changed, as highlighted by Mr. Nelly, Mr. Oti, and Blackstone, and myself. We are going by that presumption that the citizens have changed. So how do the citizens now change the leadership?
To change it, we take a whole generation. To change this mindset, to change this because we already been defeated. You know, we already been defeated.
Mr. Ola, can you please listen to me very? I want you to stay focused. We are going by the presumption that we have changed. There's no issue of we've been defeated or this. That boat have sailed. We are now a new creature, as described by this thing. How do we now change the leadership?
So can I weigh in? Can I weigh in on this question?
No, Mr. Oti, you have to wait for your turn.
To change it, actually, you have to defend. If unless we go to this so-called democracy, this fake democracy, you have to defend your vote, and you have to be ready to die for the cause. Otherwise, you cannot change a something that's already deep without not ready to sacrifice your life for this cause. Otherwise, we'll still remain where we are, because Nigerians now are very afraid. They say, I beg, not people won't go die for this person. But the same people are now even dancing on your head. Because to change this situation, then you must have to sacrifice lives, blood have to be spilled. I swear to God. Because the way that because we don't have no other look, there's no only any organization. The labor, what they call that so-called fake labor or whatever they call themselves. These are guys that are heavily involved in corruption, so they're just there for the money. There's nothing about comrades in any of these guys. Or Shomol have already destroyed that aspect of that so-called labor. You, the individuals, the citizen, have to stand up. If we come to die, let us die for what we believe. Because look, my brother, sooner or later, these guys will not be talking to us anymore. They'll be eating us as meat and fish. You sabi, Nigeria is broke. There's no money. They're all just lying. There's no money in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria. There is no money in Nigeria. Nigeria is broke. We just smiling, suffering. Everybody just sooner or later, this old thing they'll be eating us. If you don't stand up, you'll be a slave. Just what happened 500 years ago. You'll be a slave in your own country. None of them, none of them is good. That's just the truth.
That kind of statement. That kind of statement doesn't help anybody. I don't know what basis I saying that.
Mr. Oti, I will come to you. Let's apply decorum. I mean, what's the word? Let's apply fairness and decorum. I beg your pardon. I will come to you. We still have time. We have almost 40 minutes because there's another broadcast. But Madam Lely, we are now presumed to have changed. What is the way forward? How do we change the leadership?
Electricity. To be honest with you, if we have presumed to change, then whatever leaders that you have, now that we have changed, will be good. They won't go
Madam Nelly, we're talking about, I know the leaders are also equally citizens as well, to regard it.
Electricity. What you have right now, forget that. So if we are saying that, if you're telling me, let's argue this thing based on the presumption that we, the human beings in Nigeria, have changed.
At home and abroad.
And at home and abroad, then whoever comes up from that leader, from that changed citizens, will be good leaders.
Okay.
So then that means what the question you're asking right now, if I'm going to answer that, you need to remove all these people who are in leadership. Okay, but if you want us to add these leaders, because let me tell you, they've done wrong. But can they repent? Yes. Can they change their fixed or unfixed karma? Yes. But are they ready? That is a different topic.
That is debatable. Mr.
A different topic. So
okay.
Be careful what you're asking so that we don't give the wrong answer. If tomorrow people like Tinubu, people like Shetima, people like Abiu, they say, you know what, all these atrocities that I've committed, I'm completely sorry. With words, with actions, who is me not to forgive them? But you can't have a rotten egg and you continue to pretend like you're going to fix it. You can't. So my question to you, what I'm saying to you is that we that they are oppressing, we that are these human beings and citizens that are not included in this leadership, when we change the way we look at things, we can kick them all out and start a new thing. That's what I'm saying. But you can't replace a rotten egg with another rotten egg.
Thank you. Mr. Blackstone, you are part of the house, so I'm going to take you last, okay? Mr. Oti, the floor is yours, please. Mr. Oti, the floor is yours.
Look, okay, if I could just pick up on what Nelly has just said. Look, we really have to, we make assumptions, but of course, our assumptions have to be realistic, okay? First of all, we are human beings. We're not perfect, none of us. And if we are designing our politics, we can't just we'll be freeing ourselves to, have that pretense or act on the basis that, people, everybody, including myself or yourself, are going to behave morally, moral uprightness every time. No, that is the wrong assumption. It's not going to work. Politics we're talking about, okay? And that's why there's really a difference between private and public morality. What we should be talking about is at least the laws that are made by our representatives. Those laws should be enforced. So this idea that we're going to wait until we have a change of mindset, over how many years are we going to wait for that? No, it's not practical. We're not being pragmatic, So the system we have, my opinion, and if you can prove me wrong, you can prove me wrong. What is required is a thorough overhaul. Okay. Anyway, we can go to that, and then we begin again. Look, and leadership. There are good Nigerians. There are people that can provide good leadership. And what is that good leadership? A moral leadership. By example, moral example. So once you are doing the right thing, your subordinates, people following you, looking up to you, they also will do the right thing. I mean, Obi has said that, and it's not only because he said it. It's quite common sense. If the man that is on top is not stealing, it will be hard for people below him to steal and then, also go unpunished. So this is not too difficult to understand. There are good people that can provide leadership, and all that it takes is that their example, the country will begin to change. But if we're waiting for the population of Nigerians to have a change of, to suddenly become moral and then start acting uprightly, is a kind of a fallen hope. Look, now if I go back to, in terms of practical suggestions or solutions, we have to reactivate our civil society organizations. In the churches, what do they do? The pastors have to kind of, assume responsibility of, if like this, moral conscientization. And
you will continue, Mr. Oti. I want to highlight what you just said. You will continue. Just give me 1 second, because we have about 30 minutes, so we're gonna go around with what we're gonna tread on what Mr. Oti just said, and we're gonna time each other. And you just need to highlight where you are coming from. Hold on 1 second. I have it here. So this is the first one I wrote down. Number 1, Christians are not to leave popular government to the ungodly. To neglect good government is to neglect the salvation of souls. Promotion of public and private good is one of the greatest means of saving souls. Christians should vote and enter public life to promote good government, so that the gospel will not be hindered and stamped out. Both reason and experience, as well as the Bible, makes this obligatory upon all. So I know it's down to, I mentioned Christians there, but just to highlight your point of going to the pastor. So the floor is back to you, and you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
I don't disagree with any of the things. The sentiment is okay. So look, if you're a Christian and then a genuine one, not a pretended, that your Christianity has to, in everything you do, at work, in politics, right? So, but the thing is this, look, our Christianity in this part of Nigeria, it's not really, people are kind of it's like, let me use common, in misroad, people are not really, it's not Christianity, they are into private enterprise for most of them, not all of them, So where the focus, okay, what is their interest? Okay, so are they teaching people moral, directing people, showing them the way, showing the light? If they're not doing that, they're missing their calling. They don't know what they're doing. So we have to, this is that's in terms of this change of mindset. So this kind of, because a church is a civil society, if you ask me, we have clubs, we have age grades. Nelly mentioned block is it block rosary or something? All this kind of, that is what democracy requires. Okay, citizen involvement, participation. You can't just leave it to the politicians. Their interest, their bandwidth for the common good is quite limited. They are politicians anyway. So we, the citizens that they are supposed to be serving, we have to be active. We have to oversee them. We have to be, serious monitoring, serious activism. That's what required. That's the only way that can that we can save ourselves. You know, we're not going to leave it to anybody. Okay, wait for anybody. There's no savior. We don't want to expect anybody to die again for us. Christ has died. We don't need another person to sacrifice himself or herself. Okay, for our salvation.
Thank you. Mr. Blackstone, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Oti, I would disagree with you when you ask how long will it change with generation. One thing I believe that the people that change a country is less than 30% of the population, right? For example, we have the police. If you have the police is a very major institution in any country, and they are the people that actually uphold the law, right? If our police are corrupt, what can they do? Can they be able to if people are who have corrupt mind are in the police force, the police will be totally corrupt. So first and foremost, people that have a changed mind, they have a conscience, they have a heart for the nation, and the people are supposed to be employed or put into the police force so they can be able to put the law into work. So that's what the change we are talking about, right? When everybody cannot change, gonna have a new mindset, but the very few ones that sees that we know that now have changed or have a different mindset that can uphold the law, can implement the law, can make the law to work. That the people are supposed to be in the places whereby they can be able to implement the law and hold and make the law to work, and cannot be biased or be biased or be bribed or things like that. So that's what we are talking about when people change, right? And these people, I think, are less than 30% of the population that keep a country to work, that make a country to work, right? On that ground. So that's why we talk about people changing. That's the way I see it. So that's what I think we have been referring to when it comes to change. Everybody cannot change. Everybody cannot have a new mindset because people have different way of thinking, way of thoughts, right? But the very few ones who can put the country first, who can say, this is my job and I have to do it diligently without fear or favor, those are the ones that said that have changed, that can be able to put in positions, in organizations, in parastatals that can be able to work for the nation and not to work for people or for those in power. I just have to clarify that's what the change we are talking about, people that need to change. Right?
Thank you very much. If this statement is correct, then it's going to be very sad. Shetima said we should move on from the over 80 people killed in Kaduna. If it's correct, it's a very sad statement coming from the vice president, but not surprising. I'll come to you, Mr. Ola. I just need to highlight some comment. Nigeria was designed to govern by heart. I'll skip that. Nigeria lacks leaders. No oligarchs will go rich off wealth, but one day, say this: if you have any sort of moral values, no political party will allow you into their party. So we'll look at there is no okay. Somebody want the link. We don't have much time, but I'm going to post the link anyway. So, Mr. Ola, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, bro. Brother, you see, before I start anything, you people live in overseas. There, I was one time a middle class guy. I was having a good job and everything. I love my job. I'm not just trying to do Uber. I live in Lagos. My wife is the one working. Let me give you an example, because before we talk change of mind or anything will change. My brother, if you come to Lagos, people are just working like zombies. No direction, nothing. If you even go to all this Abeokuta, all this area, and see the same thing. To change or what we can do, actually, I'm not a go at all. I don't even smell that area. Well, what would actually would change us? The gentleman said 30% of Nigerians, not even less than 30%. Because say 2%. Nigerians are a bunch of liars. They lie a lot. That's what these leaders we have as our leaders are also big time liars because they reflect to just the way we are. We have to really. I'm speaking out of pain. I can't cry. I know how things started in this country. I enjoyed this country when I was growing up. You know, but how can you change it? You can't change it because the devils we have in power, they are killing us.
Mr. Ola, if you say we can't change it, that is, don't you think that is a little bit
Look, my brother, we need a stronger institution to change it. Individually, we cannot do nothing. These people have eaten us so deep into our bone marrow. They have eaten us so deep into our bone marrow. To change it, look, let me give people that are ruling us, they're not even educated.
That is beside the point.
How did it come to this level? That people that are ruling us, we don't even know who they are. You cannot even tell anything about them. Because Nigeria will be playing this game like Augusta. You be trying, you be doing this just to do smarty. Music will sing, but somebody now is not. They are not dedicating billions into office to renovate office. Have you ever seen where that have ever happened before? People are giving billions to renovate office and residence. And what are you renovating?
Mr. Ola, I can understand
I speak on a very high emotions because
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm about to say.
I'm 57 years old. 57 years old. I know how this country goes. You wake up, you look up and down. You're like a zombie. You can't even do nothing. How would they treat us to be like this? I might die slowly. That there's nothing that will change out of this country. How?
Mr. Ola, can you text me your number on the private chat, please? Listen, I feel you as I'm sitting down, and I know you're crying. I mean, from your heart.
How can this country go like this? How? Those that are in power, that they all enjoy free education during the military time. They're packing money. I just lost my sister, my sister. I spent millions to take care of this lady. The message they give to her was fake. The whole message shut everything. I kidney and liver down. Okay. The little money I have, I used to treat her. She died out of fake mercy. The daughters are not even good at all. You know, you cannot live like this. You cannot. We are just like if you check what they call slaves, they will kill you slowly. Just what they thought Jamaicans would die slowly on the plantation. That's what we are now. We're choking. They already put the chain and keys in our neck. We will choke till we die. Sorry, man. I'm not into tribalism.
No. There is nothing to apologize for.
I don't believe in none of this. I'm a Yoruba man. I don't believe in none of these politicians. None of them. We need people that will save us.
I feel your pain. Listen, let me just highlight something for you here now, so that you know that people are listening and they feel your pain. I feel your pain, and such things get one emotional and at times throws me off balance to continue the program, because this is what we are trying to see how we can. There was a gentleman that joined us, is it 2 days ago or 3 days ago, from Nigeria, highlighting how his wife died on the hospital bed due to lack of care. And a friend of his was calling him that, oh, why don't you call me? There's this special means of calling doctors that those in power used to call good doctors. I mean, I think it's there. I'm not putting it right. So it's a sad thing. What we don't want to see, what we want to fix in the country, because truth be told, those of us in the Western world, the government puts the people, regardless of how we see them or how we describe them, or they are racist or they are this and that. we still get some benefits. We still are considered just as their own people. They put value life before profit. You go to the hospital with emergency, you get treated. They don't talk about money first. You get looked after first. In the schools, they run this healthcare system where they check eyesight and everything for the children. So I feel your pain, Mr. Ola. I'm not shutting you down. And if you can, like I said, just text me your phone number in the private chat. I would really appreciate that. And I can take up some matters up with you. I don't know. I mean, does anyone have anything to say? So I want to bring this broadcast to an end right now. Madam Lely Blackstone, Mr. Oti, you guys have 5 minutes each or 2 minutes each, please. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, well, I think yes. Sorry. Yes, of course we do. Feel for Mr. Ola. It's really sad, but one thing, a person or a nation to lose hope. Okay, so long as there's life, so we cannot despair. That's all I can say. No, but it falls on us, all of us. So that's the thing. So nobody is gonna. A savior cannot come from outer world to do the job for us. So we gotta do it. We have to find how we can organize ourselves. Right? Is a collective action problem. Most people, at least most people that come here, I wouldn't say everybody, have good intentions and they have they want the country to be on the right path. So that's how do we actually I wouldn't say not stopping talking, but at least also doing something, together with the talking, because we can talk from now till
to that kingdom come, it takes us
so
nowhere.
we have to do something, and the real organizing and then making a difference.
Thank you. Blackstone, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie. Mr. La, we feel your pains. We all know that what Nigeria is today. I do have family there. I do talk to them. I do tell my friends that to be very careful about Nigerian daughters, even when you go for laboratory tests and everything. Don't just take it like that and believe everything. Go back and check again, So because most of our young daughters actually doesn't have the actual qualification or even the knowledge or the understanding of most of these modern machines that have been deployed, So because some of these analysis from these machines are complex and they're set, you are being taught how to understand those analysis or those tests. You can be able to understand it. We feel your pain. We sympathize with you for the loss of your sister, and pray that don't lose hope. When there's life, there's hope. All right. So coming to the Nigeria issue, I believe that Nigeria, there's still hope for Nigeria, and there can still be a change. We all feel the pains that is what Nigeria is today. No matter where you live, you are living in diaspora, you are living in Nigeria, we are being affected directly or indirectly. So we can be able to prepare or sanitize the Nigerian mindset, the people in Nigeria, that we have to be able to try to avoid or to stay away from just money politics, right? So the little money they give to you for you to vote them in or things like that doesn't help you in the long run. It's just a few amount of money that today you use it, tomorrow you go back to square one. So let us all Nigerians, all of us, try to work on this, educating the citizens, to encourage them at least come together, do something, organize, and be able to sanitize the Nigerian people, mostly when it comes to issue of politics, governance, and things like that. And let others also know that they have a right to demand for what they want from the government. I listened to a video today, which I shared with you, Electricity of Additional, saying it is a shame that a governor should go and be commissioning a borehole at this in this year 2023. He has done that's an achievement. That's how backward it's our governance, it's our state, and things like that. So we have to try to make the citizens realize that to know their right and how to put their right into work, right? So that they can be able to reach out to the politicians, or if they can't remove them now, they still have a chance to remove them in the next election. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me weigh in before I give the floor to Madam Nelly. I'm not going to disqualify the qualifications. To me, I just felt it's sometimes an outright wickedness to, if I'm like what Madam Nelly said, if Mr. Out, if I'm dispensing a drug and I know fully well that this drug is fake, it's not going to help you. Why would I do that? For the sake of money? If it's an error or if it's lack of, I don't know, it's a different thing. But in most cases, I am giving I know fully well, I am giving Mr. Oti a fake drug. Knowing fully well that it is fake. All because of money.
Mr. Electricity, they may not even know the drug is fake.
I don't think so.
No, let me finish. Let me tell you why. The NAFDAC, the chair leader of NAFDAC, came out and gave a press conference that most of the drugs that are being imported from Nigeria from India, most of them are below the recommended standard. So most of the drugs,
they coming through the country. I mistakenly muted you. They certify these drugs with the NAFDAC registration number.
Yes, well, no, this certification, they do that, but they don't import those drugs. Now they don't import drugs. So it's like, for example, now I am importing drugs. I go to India.
Blackstone, NAFDAC do not import drugs. Either company or individual import drugs based on the license that's given to them by NAFDAC. Is that correct?
It's correct.
And somebody certified that those drugs are good.
Yeah, no, it's not that the drugs are bad, but the content of those drugs. I can go to India today, go and be a drug manufacturer. Okay, give me this drug, produce this drug for me. This is the quantity, this is the level of the content I want, because it will be cheaper for me to import. Same thing they do with spare parts and everything. This is the Nigerian mindset. So what we do as businessmen.
Blackstone. You see everything each and every one of you are saying here. You go round and round and round about, and you come back to square one again, sweetheart. Where we keep saying leaders, and then please don't say that the doctors and I'm going to call them practitioners. Don't say that they don't know. Some of them,
of course, they do.
Hold on. Some of them will know, and some of them, even if they don't know, why are you a practitioner? If you're a practitioner, you must keep yourself updated. Let me tell you something. This thing that you're saying, you're talking about, doesn't only happen in Nigeria. It happens in this our diaspora that you claim that we are in. You can go to a doctor in this diaspora, and the doctor will not even listen to what you're saying. They will have their prescription pad and they keep writing because they need that insurance money. So let me tell you, the corruption is all over the places. The only problem with us in Nigeria is that we don't have a system where when these people are tracked down, there will be a punishment. But it also happens here. Please, they can give your parents or your loved one the wrong medication here. And I'm telling you a fact. They can give it to you here, knowing or unknowingly. Even
that's true.
Yes,
I concur to that. I believe that.
Some of your nurses that goes into nurses, medical doctors that goes into this healthcare arena only for the sole purpose to make dollar. They will still, they won't know because they don't know how to assess what is happening to you. They will also kill you. Okay? But the difference here is that if they dictate, because every death here will go through autopsy automatically. In Nigeria, you don't have that. So again, whatever we are saying, it comes back to that moral change of each and every one of us. You want to go into medicine? Go into medicine because you really want to help individuals. You want to help them. So when somebody comes to your healthcare setting, please sit down, listen to them, know the right question to ask them. When did this disease, when did whatever that is happening to you, when did it start? Open your mind, ask for wisdom so that you can treat them successfully. Do not open a chemist. Again, it brings back to the example that I gave earlier, and I used the Egusi. It can also happen in a chemist. I know that I'm selling a chalk to you, but I will call it Tramazine and give it to you.
I call it Panadol. According to if it's not Panadol, it's not the same thing as Panadol.
Until each and every one of us here sits down in our own way, sits down, we will find out that we're all going around the circle, and we keep pointing the finger to the leadership. You can't get to the leadership until all of us change the way we behave, change our greed, change our lying, change our wanting to be better than anybody. We all have a humanistic principle in all of us. Until we choose to wake it up, we're not going to wake it up. We win. We will keep on pointing to somebody else. But remember, when I'm pointing one finger at you, stone or electricity, count, I'm pointing 4 towards me. What is that telling you? Change, I have to do my human revolution first before I'm telling you anything at all. So we keep pointing this one finger, Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. When the heart is impure, the land is impure.
Thank you, Madam Nelly. I would like to thank every one of you, lady and gentlemen, as we, Madam Nelly. The segment and going forward that I cover will be prove me wrong. Not necessarily me. There'll be topics that will reflect everybody and will say prove me wrong. Then we always start proving each other wrong. So I'm working on that. I think that will kick off from next year. It will be more interactive, even a little bit of comedy, but realistic. I mean, a real thing that is happening with the aim of bringing change into each and every one of us life and the society at large. I would like to thank every one of you for joining this program. And there's another broadcast after, so if you are interested, you can join the Mandanelli. We shall catch up behind the screen.
We will. Thank you.
No, Mandanelli, you don't log off. You stay behind the screen. Okay. So we'll catch up briefly before the next people. So thank you. Those of you in the comment section, my apology. Thank you very much for joining. Your comment is highly appreciated. And as I describe you, you are my brother and sister from another mother. Have a lovely weekend.